Present! Present! Or!
President Joe Biden laid the wreath at Arlington National Cemetery during the annual Memorial Day ceremony this morning. Today at noon, folks here in San Antonio are remembering those who paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Also, a man arrested after being accused of plotting to carry out a mass shooting at a Walmart in South Texas. This noon, we're hearing from the Kerr County Sheriff about the arrests.
Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
In a solemn wreath-laying ceremony this morning, the VA honored veterans and service members at the Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. The commemoration was held as a private event to prevent crowds. Already thousands have visited the grounds to pay their respects. Alicia Barrera was at the cemetery for the ceremony and spoke to families of veterans and service members on what today means to them.
Stride by stride, and with a tight grip on his waving salute, an emotional Johnny Silva honors his ultimate heroes, including his father.
It's about the people who sacrifice their life for our freedom. It's not about barbecuing. It's about family, sacrifice. It's not about a sale.
The customized flag embodies his mission that he carries on Memorial Day throughout the Fort Sam Houston as well as San Fernando Cemetery.
I hear him honk. I hear him, give me the thanks. I give them the thanks. All our veterans, those that, are here.
Silva wasn't able to attend today's wreath-laying ceremony as it was private due to COVID-19 precautions, but later paid his respects along with the other thousands of people visiting the cemetery.
Different eras, different branches, but all headstones here have a similar story. They, along with their families, sacrificed and gave so much for the flag.
I don't know, but it's a small world. They sacrificed their life for us. So, when you walk around and look around, you're like, there's a lot of people that sacrifice for our freedom.
He, along with many military families, hope today's solemn tributes remind people, especially younger generations, of the true significance behind Memorial Day.
Kids don't understand what it means because they're too young. They don't understand why grandpa's not here or dad's not here. It's because of that, their sacrifice.
The ultimate sacrifice that friends, family, and a nation still mourn today. Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
So important to remember those sacrifices. President Joe Biden, meantime, laying a wreath at Arlington National Cemetery in honor of the fallen war heroes on this Memorial Day. The president joined by First Lady Jill Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff in a somber ceremony at the Virginia Cemetery's Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. In an address, President Biden also remembered his son Beau and his service.
Yesterday marked the anniversary of his death, and it's a hard time of year for me and our family, just like it is for so many of you. It can hurt to remember, but the hurt is how we feel and how we heal.
During this address, he also called on Americans to remember that the country was built on the idea of liberty and opportunity for all.
Back here in Texas, a far-reaching bill sent Sunday night to Governor Greg Abbott would require some power generators to winterize against extreme cold. This comes after one of the most massive blackouts in U.S. history. Experts praise some reforms of the bill as significant, but say concessions to Texas' powerful oil and gas industry still leaves the grid vulnerable. At least 151 people died in the winter storm, according to the tally kept by state officials. But the actual number of victims widely believed to be much larger.
Governor Greg Abbott, meantime, vowing to give a controversial new voting bill a second chance after Democrats blocked it from passing in dramatic fashion. They staged an 11th hour walkout. Critics say the bill would make it harder for many minority communities to vote, but supporters believe it improves election integrity. ABC's Alex Perchet has more from Washington.
Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott now says he'll hold a special legislative session after one of the most restrictive voting bills in the country failed to pass in dramatic fashion. Democrats in the Texas State House walked out of the chamber in protest right before the midnight deadline, blocking Republicans from passing the bill. The House Democratic Caucus used a text message to spread word of the plan, writing, "Members, take your keys and leave the chamber discreetly. Do not go to the gallery. Leave the building."
They were prepared to cut us off and try to silence us. We were not going to let them do that. And that's why Democrats used the last tool available to us. We denied them the quorum that they need to pass this bill, and we killed that bill.
GOP lawmakers had spent the weekend making revisions to the massive voting bill behind closed doors and suspended rules to rush it to the floor for a vote. It bans drive-through voting, tightens restrictions on voting by mail, adding a new ID requirement. It increases access for partisan poll watchers and cuts back on early voting hours on Sunday, when many black churchgoers head to the polls. This bill also makes it easier for a judge to overturn an election if there are allegations of fraud. Supporters argue the bill will improve election security.
I think what the Republicans here would tell you is that they're trying to make sure that the person voting is the person on paper, so it's a legitimate vote devoid of fraud.
President Biden called the new voting restrictions an assault on democracy. Had the bill passed, Texas would have joined at least 14 other Republican-led state houses that have approved more restrictive voting laws this year. There's no word yet on when that special legislative session will happen. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
The Kerr County Sheriff speaking out about what led to the arrest of a man who calls himself a terrorist.
28-year-old Coleman Thomas Blevins arrested in a parking lot over in the 1000 block of Junction Highway. He later on confirmed that he was affiliated and networking with, quote, extremist ideologies, end quote. Authorities seized firearms, ammunition, and electronic evidence, then as well as concentrated THC from Blevins' apartment. The sheriff believes that Blevins is in custody, is relieved that Blevins is in custody, but he still worries about what could have been.
You never think nothing will happen like this, but really woke our eyes up, here in little Kerrville, Texas.
Later on in our newscast, the sheriff shares more about this investigation and the charges that Blevins now faces. Police are looking for this man in connection with a robbery. According to officers, back on May 20th, 3 people were at Springtime Park on the northwest side near Babcock and Prue Road. They told police this man walked up to them and asked them if they had drugs. And when he said no, he walked away, then came back with 3 more people and a rifle. Police accuse the suspect of pointing a rifle at the victims and robbing them. If you know who this person is or where police can find them, call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP.
I'm meteorologist Sarah Spivey. While there is a small chance for a passing downpour today during the day, overnight we're really going to be on the lookout for storms. Speaking of storms, it's going to be a messy weather week with a chance for rain just about every day. I'll be back with the details shortly.
Another NBA fan ends up getting arrested for what he did after the Celtics-Nets game. Coming up in sports.
A local high school student is on to the next chapter of his life, but he's leaving his mark on Central Catholic High School. We're going to introduce you to this great graduate after the break. Some of us tell our kids we need them to get involved in as much as possible at school. And while it can be a lot, one student somehow seems to have done it all. Today we meet our latest great graduate. He is Logan Jaros, who has exceeded expectations at Central Catholic High School.
From being a part of Junior ROTC to National Honor Society to becoming an Eagle Scout, Logan Jaros is a leader at Central Catholic High School.
Logan's one of those quiet leaders. He leads by example, not by what he says.
Logan's involvement in clubs and sports has brought out his leadership qualities. Faculty at Central Catholic say he's someone students admire.
My journey started when I was a Cub Scout in elementary school. It took me 6 years to start just a Boy Scout to finish at Eagle Scout.
And his final Eagle Scout project, creating an outdoor area so students can eat and interact outside. He did it by building planters that now serve as a barrier around the eating area.
Outside now, there's a bunch of people outside, and I guess I started the movement of people eating outside due to my service project, which it Honestly, I look back at it and I find it pretty cool how I was able to serve all my fellow peers.
His parents are very proud of his dedication and commitment.
And he's into everything and involved. That keeps him busy and keeps him focused on his ultimate goals and objectives. So I think it's been a positive influence. I feel a sense of pride and satisfaction.
Now, Logan plans on attending Texas Tech University in the fall. Yeah, David's doing
baby. Good choice.
He's going to study biology, and he hopes to go to dental school to become an orthodontist.
David, we have fun, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Texas Tech.
For every gig 'em, David's always got a comeback. For every gig 'em I give.
Wreck 'em.
Oh, can we wreck this rain? We've had enough.
I wish, Ursula. You know, we love the rain because you know how dry it gets in the summer months, and the rain helps our aquifer. The aquifer is up 1/2 foot over the past 24 hours, but it's getting to the point where I think people would like a little bit of sunshine. Unfortunately, we are going to have a week where we will be dealing with some scattered showers and storms, and that means that we'll also have to deal with the mold. Molds are very high in today's pollen count, past 10,000. Now for the day today, it's going to be fairly quiet, but overnight tonight, looks like we will see some storms. I'll be back with a look at that futurecast coming up.
Never miss a story. Watch live or when you want. San Antonio's latest news and weather, streaming free on KSAT TV.
Like we've been dodging thunderstorms for weeks now, not
Maybe
just
for
days.
the month.
You know,
Yeah.
my litmus test for all of this is how many times have I had to dump that bucket of water, you know, again and again and again to keep the mosquitoes away.
Good reminder.
You know what?
Check
That
all
is a great reminder there
Yeah,
because, you know, it is mosquito season. Well, that gives you a good idea. I should make a skeeter meter for the weather one day.
Oh, I would like that. Time to empty your buckets and your, you know, your potted plants.
Well, we are going to have a good chance for storms tonight now in the overnight hours. Now, outside right now, it's fairly nice outside for Memorial Day. 80 degrees and just a touch humid with dew points in the upper 60s. That's making it feel a little sticky outside. South-southeast winds at 15 miles per hour. And we do have some rain on the radar, not around San Antonio, but out east toward Hallettsville. You're going to get a free car wash here just briefly as that is moving over Highway 90 and 77. All right, out to the west, we've got some showers near Rock Springs. Now, these were well-organized thunderstorms that just fell apart as they moved east. The atmosphere toward the east is fairly stable at the moment, and that's why that thunderstorm fell apart. And as I mentioned, here in San Antonio, it's fairly quiet. And honestly, for the rest of the day, I really just expect about a 20% chance for an isolated shower or storm. You can see that there is some sun through those clouds, but we've got a mixture of those low clouds as well as some cirrus clouds moving in from the west, and temperatures are starting to warm up, and we're looking at afternoon highs probably about 5 to 6 degrees above what you're seeing out there right now. So in Kerrville, barely in the low 80s for the high, Beeville low 90s, but for the rest of the day here in San Antonio, 83 at 2, 86 at 5, and then notice how the rain chances really start to pick up after about 10 and after midnight. We'll have a 60% chance for some storms after midnight. And the reason for that is there's a cool front to our north. This cool front is bringing a lot of rain across North Texas, as you can see. Now, we're not going to get cool from this front, but what it is going to do is it's going to fire off a few thunderstorms, several thunderstorms rather, across the hill country and the Edwards Plateau. Look at the time of this. This is right before about midnight. We'll be watching these closely because there are indications that there could be some strong, potentially even some severe weather up in parts of the hill country and the Edwards Plateau. Perhaps quarter-sized hail and gusty winds, but we'll also be watching it closely because it looks like we are going to see it make it to San Antonio pre-dawn tomorrow, 3 to 4 to 5 to even 6 a.m. That's a possibility. And more so than the severe weather in San Antonio, what I'm concerned about is the potential for some flooding, generally north of Highway 90, so that does include Canyon Lake and the Bernie area. The ground is just soggy and the rivers and creeks are swollen, so any additional rain is going to lead to potentially some issues with flooding. But by Tuesday morning, we'll be waking up in the 60s. During the day on Tuesday, only a 30% chance for isolated showers and storms. We'll be back into the mid-80s, but Tuesday night, again in the evening hours, we're going to have to watch out west where another complex of storms has the potential to move through. So big picture, and looking like we could have some nighttime thunderstorms for most folks around San Antonio, both tonight and tomorrow night as well. Tonight's severe weather risk, again, generally up into the hill country and west of 281, as well as out toward Del Rio and Rock Springs, the severe weather threat. But again, the flooding, I think, is going to be the bigger issue for most folks, because in some spots we could see an additional up to 2 inches of rain with pockets of up to 4 inches of rain through Wednesday. So that includes tonight and tomorrow. And then we're not done, because even after Wednesday, we have another opportunity to see isolated rain on Thursday, scattered rain on Friday, and more widespread storms rather on Saturday. So it is going to be a very soggy start to June because of the nature of these storms and how they're going to be scattered and taking different paths. Keep your KSAT Weather Authority app handy, because we send notifications right to your phone. You can track radar, all of those things.
Gonna need it. Yep, for sure this week. Thanks, Sarah.
All right, coming up next, history made at the Indy 500 yesterday and big changes in the playoff race. A huge crowd at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway yesterday. They only allowed 40% capacity, but it was still the largest post-pandemic crowd to watch in person. Indy 500 fans not disappointed event or the longest post-race celebration in Indy history. Scott Dixon was the favorite. He was on the pole, but the 2008 Indy 500 champion ran into some trouble thanks to the crash from Stefan Wilson in pit lane. That meant the rest of the field had to sit and wait for the pit, and as a result, Dixon had to stop for emergency fuel, get his engine refired. He finished 17th, lap 119. This is the biggest wreck of the day. Graham Rahal running in the top 10. One of the rear tires comes off, and he crashes right into the wall, but he was okay. There were only 2 yellow flags all race long. As a result, it boiled down to a 4-car showdown between San Antonio resident Pato O'Ward, Simon Poggenau, Alex Palou, and Helio Castroneves. Palou and Castroneves traded the lead multiple times over the final 20 laps, but with 2 laps to go, Castroneves was able to take the lead for good. He navigates lap traffic and takes the checkered flag. The Indy 500 is his. That's a record-tying 4th time in his career he's won this race. He's the first 4-time winner in 30 years since Rick Mears did it back in '91, and his post-race celebration was legendary.
When I left Team Penske, Meyer said, "Are you ready for this?" I'm like, "Look, I wouldn't be coming back to Indianapolis if I wouldn't think I still got it." And they gave me the car, they promised everything, and what a great team effort, you know. This is an incredible win. Number 4, what a moment, and I'm just so honored to be part of this amazing group, which is Rick Mears, Al Unser Sr., and AJ Foyt. I mean, this is absolutely a dream come true, and it's a proof that and a testimony that if you dream big, you make it. Doesn't matter how long it takes, you will make it.
Congratulations to him on the heels of his first ever Indy victory at Texas Motor Speedway earlier this month. 22-year-old Pato O'Ward was in the mix the entire Indy 500, even led the greatest spectacle in racing more than once. Born in Mexico, he moved to San Antonio with his parents, finished 4th overall, and this Indy 500 is going to go down as the fastest Indy ever. Here is the tweet he posted. "We are close, but not quite. 4th in the end. We know winning is the only thing that matters in Indy, but we should be proud of our performance today." NBA action yesterday. Clippers and Mavs trying to even up the series. LA up 1. Paul George pulls up for the long jumper. He had 18 at halftime. Then the former Spur Kawhi Leonard on the breakaway. You know what's coming. Big slam from Kawhi. Then down the baseline. You know what's coming. Big slam from Kawhi. At 17 at the break. Clippers hang on for the win, 106-81, tying the series at 2. Neither team has won a home game. All right, so here's a look at the way they stand right now. Jazz and Grizzlies all at 2. Well, Jazz lead that series 2-1. Then there's the Clippers and Mavericks now tied at 2-2. You got the Nuggets and Trailblazers all tied up, and the Suns and the Lakers. Suns bounced back after the Lakers looked like they were going to take control, and that series is tied at 2. All right, Nets and Celtics. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving went off. Irving had 39 points, including 6 threes. Durant had 17 in the third, finished with a game-high 42. Brooklyn wins it 141-126, but this is what happened after the game. A fan throws see that? That was a water bottle going right by Kyrie Irving's head. Barely missed him. One fan was arrested. Another incident where fans get out of hand with the players. Not sure exactly what's going on with some of these people. I know they've been cooped up because of COVID, haven't been to an arena in a long time, but getting a little ridiculous. So there's your matchups right there. The Wizards and the 76ers. 76ers lead that series 3-0. New York and the Hawks are 3-1. Hawks lead that series. And then the Bucks and the Heat, they're already done. Bucks swept that one. And you got the Nets and the Celtics, and it's 3-1. The Nets lead that series.
And the Spurs are done, too. Old news. All right, a pair of lucky video game fans are going to earn $2,000 just to play their favorite games together. Why a company is coughing up the cash, coming up in our next half hour.
And home projects, the last year has had a lot of people knocking them off the checklist, but recent hailstorms may have added another box to the check, like new siding coming up today at 5. Vinyl siding is put to the test in San Antonio's affordable option, but how does it hold up? A 12 on your side report today at 5 after Entertainment Tonight.
The nation pauses today to remember the servicemen and women who made the ultimate sacrifice. With the 20th anniversary of the September 11th terror attacks approaching, there's a call now for a memorial to honor those killed in the global war on terror. CNN's Karen Kafa talks to 2 U.S. House members leading a legislative push for a place on the National Mall.
Memorial Day is starting to resemble again what most are used to here in the Washington area, and that typically includes a number of visitors to Arlington National Cemetery. And in recent years, in particular Section 60, where service members who gave the ultimate sacrifice in Iraq and Afghanistan are buried. It's typically where family and friends come to pay their respects on Memorial Day. But now there is a push to get these servicemen and women a spot on the National Mall. Flags placed on more than 260,000 headstones at Arlington National Cemetery for Memorial Day weekend, known as Flags In.
It's our duty to honor the people who served.
Arlington Section 60, a reminder that some conflicts are not quite yet history.
If you want to sense the emotions in our community from 20 years of war, go there on Memorial Day and see what's on the faces of the family and friends of the fallen.
It's where service members killed in Afghanistan and Iraq are laid to rest and the living come to reflect. But nearly 20 years after the September 11th, 2001 terror attacks prompted the global war on terror, there is a push for a memorial on the National Mall.
I think we've seen decade after decade the importance of veterans and their families, those who lost loved ones in that war, the ability to come to a place and to bring their kids and their grandkids to that place and reflect on the meaning of that experience.
Congressman Jason Crow, a Colorado Democrat, and fellow House member Mike Gallagher, a Wisconsin Republican, are veterans. Their part of the broader memorial effort is a bill that seeks Congress's authorization for a National Mall location. They've taken colleagues on runs like this one to show proposed sites.
I think a memorial like this and all the memorials on the lawn not only, provide that place that Jason talked about for veterans, but I would like to think serve as a reminder for all Americans about how lucky we are to be Americans, but the cost that a lot of people pay in order to keep us safe and keep us free as a country.
Crow and Gallagher's bill has the backing of more than 140 bipartisan members, seeking to give these heroes and those they left behind that sense of place.
Once again, that was Karen Kafa coming to you from Washington. And right now on KSAT.com, do you have a family member, friend, or loved one that has served our nation? You can honor them by uploading a picture of your hero to our community gallery.
Looking outside with live cam. Oh, still clouds and still keeping an eye on the radar because, going to be a rainy week.
It is on and off again, showers and storms for us throughout the week. Now today, during the day, we will be able to salvage a pretty nice Memorial Day where we won't have to deal with much rain during the day. Only a 20% chance for an isolated shower or storm this afternoon. But it's in the overnight hours that we could see some storms. Outside right now, it's 80 degrees at the airport. We've got mostly cloudy skies and breezy conditions, south-southeast winds at about 15 miles per hour. Showing you the big picture here. And you can see that there's actually severe thunderstorm watches in parts of Texas. That is just south of the cool front, which is moving on south across parts of North Texas. And that cool front is going to be the source of our chance for storms in the overnight hours. So again, for the rest of the day today, fairly quiet, 20% chance for an isolated shower at 2 and at 5. 86 for the high temperatures, so just warming up by about 6 more degrees. It's after midnight that we'll see those scattered showers and storms. Coming up in the forecast, we'll talk a little bit about the risks from these storms, and I'll show you the future cast of where potentially some of the rain could be around San Antonio. David and Ursula.
Thank you, Sarah. As more Americans get vaccinated nationwide, government officials are looking to answer more questions about the COVID-19 pandemic. Mainly, where did it come from? President Joe Biden has given the intelligence community 90 days to investigate the origins of COVID-19, and health experts agree that knowing where the virus came from is crucial to keep this from happening again.
It informs how we go forward and how we prepare ourselves against these threats in the future and reduce these likelihoods.
Mother Nature is telling us what's going to happen. There's going to be COVID-26 and COVID-32 unless we fully understand the origins of COVID-19.
There are calls for an outbreak investigation in China, but at this point, China is refusing full access to lab and its records.
Taking a look now at the coronavirus in Europe. Starting today, France will require British travelers to quarantine for a week when entering the country. This is due to a rise in new COVID infections in the UK. Even with a relatively low case rate, experts say Britain is still battling the spread of the variant that was first identified in India. Other EU countries also taking notice of Britain's rise in the cases. Germany and Austria have both placed restrictions on either flights or travelers from the UK.
And India's coronavirus crisis is showing signs of improvement. Today, the country reported its lowest number of cases and deaths since April 11th. Nearly 153,000 new infections were recorded as the total cases surpassed 28 million. It is the fourth day in a row that the number was below 200,000, though. To date, nearly 345 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines have been distributed in India. The Indian government says it'll deliver nearly 120 million doses of COVID vaccines in June.
Birthday concert in Miami turning into the nation's latest mass shooting. 2 people are dead and more than 20 are injured after several gunmen opened fire in a crowd.
Miami police do not have anyone in custody, but ABC's Andrew Fujii tells us the search is far from over.
As families grieve, Miami police are on the hunt for several killers.
We're going to need as many rescues as you got.
2 people are dead and at least 20 hurt after police say 3 suspects with assault rifles and handguns got out of an SUV and began shooting at a crowd Saturday night. Authorities described the vehicle as a white Nissan Pathfinder and say the people inside waited over a half hour before opening fire on the revelers who were leaving a birthday concert for a local rapper. Police believe the gunfire was returned after about 100 shell casings were found.
I can tell you that there is no fear that is greater for any person living in these communities than the fear of being gunned down in a community when all they're doing is trying to live their daily life.
This latest rampage is one of at least 68 mass shootings in the country in May alone, according to the Gun Violence Archive, and the second one in the Miami area since the start of the Memorial Day weekend.
We must get these killers off the streets. Gun violence is an epidemic, and the pandemic has intensified it.
Meanwhile, heartbroken parents showing up to the crime scene. Clayton Dillard III's family says he was killed, his distraught father begging officers to let him see his son's body.
My son is dead!
Angelica Green's 24-year-old son shot in the stomach and was rushed to surgery.
He called us frantic, telling us he had been shot, that it hurts, and he loves us.
So far, no one is in custody yet in this case. The reward, now at least $130,000 for information leading to an arrest. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
A new series focusing on up-and-coming short filmmakers, where you can watch it, still ahead.
Horror sequel, A Quiet Place Part 2, making the loudest noise at the box office this weekend. How it could be a sign of things to come in Hollywood.
Never miss a story. Watch live or when you want. San Antonio's latest news and weather, streaming free on KSAT TV.
An internet provider offering $2,000 to two friends willing to play 21 hours of video games together and report back on their experience. Seriously, how hard is that going to be for some of these people? Frontier Bundles wants to know if people do better playing solo or with someone on their side. If you want to win $2,000 while you game, there's more information on the Frontier Bundles website. It's a fun way to celebrate some big games coming out this year, like Residential Evil Village and Mario Golf, Super Rush. There are also some significant video game anniversaries this year. Donkey Kong is 40. Did you hear that, Sarah? Donkey Kong is 40. Sonic the Hedgehog and Street Fighter both turned 30.
Oh, gosh. I remember when I was addicted to Sonic.
Oh, man.
That is a blast from the past right there. All right, A Quiet Place 2 taking the top spot at the box office, and it's giving its success is giving Hollywood hope that things are getting back to normal. The film brought in more than $70 million globally on opening weekend. Those numbers matching the projections for its original release before the pandemic. Disney's Cruella came in second place, earning $30 million from ticket sales alone. That number is likely to rise with Disney Plus's premier streaming option. And with more blockbusters heading to the big screen this summer, this may just be the beginning of a strong return to the theaters.
You have big movies coming up. The big question, I think, on everyone's mind right now is when can we achieve a $100 million opening, which would just be like the icing on the cake.
And more than 70% of theaters across the country actually were open this weekend.
Disney debuting a new series giving underrepresented creatives platform to show their filmmaking skills. CNN's Rick Damigella has that for us.
I'll sing the song for tomorrow.
Disney's Launchpad is a new and inclusive platform for aspiring filmmakers.
For the first time, I didn't feel so alone.
In the U.S. market, short films generally haven't really had a place to exist. I think for Disney Launchpad to be on a leading streamer and for their works to really be seen with this kind of reach and this kind of exposure, it is in of itself, outside of everything else that we're doing, is a progressive step in this industry. And I mention that because so many underrepresented filmmakers start off by doing short films.
I think the challenging part actually was that we had over 1,100 applications, but the ability to produce 6 shorts. So it was just so hard to narrow that down. And there's so many amazing filmmakers who, for season 1, we were unable to collaborate with.
Maitre d' represents everyone. Are you thinking of trying out? I don't know. Maybe.
Dinner is Served is based on the director's real-life experiences.
When I first come to the U.S. for high school, I was in this private boarding school, and I desperately trying to be seen. And the one perfect position is the maitre d' in the dining room, because that's literally under the spotlight.
Ladies and gentlemen, dinner is served.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Aspiring writers and directors can apply to the next round of Disney's Launchpad program now through June 11th at launchpad.disney.com.
Looking outside, we are still watching the clouds, but if you're barbecuing or going out to the cemetery today to honor your loved ones who were fallen heroes, not a bad day.
Yeah, we're not really seeing any rain out there around San Antonio right now. And even in the afternoon, only a 20% chance for isolated rain. But overnight, looks like we are going to have some storms. And all the recent rains have really sent mold up a bit. It's very high today, past 10,000. But the good news is the aquifer is doing well, up half a foot just within the last 24 hours. And we're also seeing a really good improvement there in the aquifer level. In fact, it's about almost 3 feet above average. So we'll continue to see the aquifer rise as lots of rounds of rain are in the forecast over the next 7 days. Your forecast after the break.
So I guess the good news is outdoor activities will be all right for the rest of the day, but the bad news is a lot of people won't be getting any sleep tonight.
And it's really been a lot of water, and these creeks and tributaries, they're just, yesterday I was horseback riding, the water was right up to the bridge, so knowing there's more coming is kind of frightening.
And Ursula, that's a good point, because the biggest concern for us over the next 7 days is going to be flooding. You know, there is a small risk for severe weather in the overnight hours tonight, but the flooding is the thing that we're going to have to really look out for. Now, there's good and bad things with the amount of rain that we've seen. David and I were just talking, Canyon Lake more than 90% full right now. Medina Lake's still struggling. The watershed of Medina Lake is a little bit smaller than Canyon Lake, but let's talk about rainfall this month so far. Unless a shower falls right over the rain gauge at the airport today, this is going to be our number for the month. A little bit more than 6 inches of rain this May, which is almost 1 3/4 inches above what we normally see. Now, it's not the wettest May on record, but we have had 15 days of measurable rain this month, 19 days of a trace or more. So most of the month has been rainy. And in fact, we've seen more than 15 inches of rain this year so far, which is more than 2 inches above average. Come the summer months, we will not be complaining about this rain, but relatively speaking, I think a lot of us are a little aching for some sunshine, right? But we're not really going to see a large break in rainfall over the next several days. There is some rain on the radar in northern Lavaca County, pushing closer to Schulenburg, and there was some rain across parts of Edwards and Valverde County, but those have fallen apart. And even this afternoon, again here in San Antonio, we're only going to have a 20% chance for an isolated shower. Mostly cloudy skies around San Antonio, cloudy skies out west, some cirrus clouds really holding on there, and temperatures are starting to get up into the 80s locally. We'll be looking at high temperatures about 5 degrees warmer than what we're seeing out there right now. Only in the 70s out toward Del Rio and Uvalde with the extra cloud cover. Again, nice weather for the rest of the day. 83 at 2, 86 at 5, 20% chance through about 10, and that's when we'll see our rain chances ramp up, especially after midnight around San Antonio. In the hill country, by midnight, there will be some storms up in the hill country. Let's talk about our rain chances tonight. Here's that cool front that I was talking about earlier. It's pushing on down to the south, and this is the potential of what it could look like late this evening. This is a look at right before midnight, some thunderstorms setting up across parts of the hill country. This is where we could have some potentially marginally severe weather, so quarter-sized hail and gusty winds. But as Ursula was mentioning, this is really going to be the area that we're going to have to watch out for the potential for flash flooding. And this particular model does keep the storms strong enough to make it to San Antonio in the pre-dawn hours tomorrow. And that'll affect pretty much the entire I-35 corridor there, and we'll be watching that carefully as it gets closer and closer to San Antonio. And then by the start of the day tomorrow, 67 degrees. During the day, only isolated rain, about 30%, but 1 or 2 pop-up storms are possible. Again, tomorrow night, that's when we're going to look out west for the potential for storms to make it to San Antonio. So if I could summarize, I would basically say the evenings are the best chance for storms tonight and tomorrow night. All right, again, that small risk for severe weather is there, especially out toward Del Rio and Edwards County and in the northwestern section of Bexar County along I-10 and out toward Eagle Pass. But the flooding, I think, is going to be the biggest concern for us. Through Wednesday, we could see up to 2 inches plus of rain with isolated pockets of 4+ inches of rain in spots. So that would lead to some flooding issues, and we're not going to be done after Wednesday. A pesky upper level low pressure system is just going to kind of meander around and honestly not move over us until Saturday. So that's what's going to keep rain chances in through the weekend as well. Again, tonight, a 60% chance for storms, a good chance for storms on Tuesday night as well into Wednesday morning. And then by Friday, we'll start to see our rain chances ramp up even more, especially on Saturday. A busy forecast, so keep up with us as we refine the forecast every day. We'll be right back after the break.
This Memorial Day, Mike and Fiona are taking us out to a theme park for some unofficial summer fun in an SA Live Encore.
Jen's going on a road trip, and David Elder is taking a bite out of some tasty Texas barbecue. Hi, Mike and Fiona.
Well, it is Memorial Day, and we hope you're having a pleasant one. We've got a lot for you on today's show, and we're starting out with all the family fun that you can have over at SeaWorld San Antonio. I got to check out the Texas Stingray ride, and if you haven't gotten a chance to do that just yet, and you love roller coasters, this one is quite the ride.
Because she loves roller coasters.
I do.
Yes, indeed. And then also, didn't tell you this in advance, but there's a pop quiz today. We're going to test your knowledge, some basic facts, some history about Memorial Day.
And of course, in Texas Eats, the top 50 Texas barbecue joints. Well, guess where one is? In Lockhart.
And
David
then
Elder takes us there.
We are heading over to Kerrville. Jen's going Texas tripping and a nice, relaxing little spot. That sounds great. A relaxing spot out there.
And let the summer picnic season begin over at Jasmine Iman Luxury Picnic Setups. They're going to show us how to do it right.
Our good friend, V with Petals by V, she's going to show us a great way to decorate graduation caps, mortarboards.
And how about some slinging slime? Yes, things are about to get messy on our Mad Science Monday as we learn all about centripetal force.
Yes, indeed. Say that 3 times fast. That and a lot more coming up
when SA Live continues.